Thank you for joining us at Nearing Nirvana for episode 57 of Long Story Short. We
Like a
have
prime 57 Chevy, just tuned up just perfectly.
yeah, and let's see, we had like 16 jump in, and now we're at 13. So thank you for the first 13 people for joining us. And we want to thank our sponsors real quick. So thank you to Cover Price. So make sure you're using the code Nirvana14 for a 30-day unlimited membership for only 99 cents. And for our guest of honor, Red Hood Comic. What's up, dude?
Aren't you supposed to be at work?
Yeah, we thought we
got out about 15 minutes ago.
Nice. We're just thanking our sponsors real quick, and make sure you're supporting Bird City Comics. They've been dropping absolute fire for the last few weeks, like crazy books. So I'm excited to see what they bring to New York City Comic Con. And but how's everyone's week going so far?
Oh man, it's been a grind. I'm happy to be on the show, but it's been a busy one.
Yeah.
Real quick though, we are going to be giving these away tonight. So these are a set. So these are limited to 50. You can see there somewhere there. Yeah, 12 out of 50.
Nice.
This is by our friends at Mad Love Comics. They do these books that feature artists. So this is Felipe Barbosa. I believe he's, I'm going to screw this up, either Venezuelan or Argentine. I helped with the concept of this book. It was just a tribute to Gwenpool before, Marvel decided to do what they did with the character. This is just her reading comics after a day of kicking ass. So anyways, if you want to win this set, just leave a comment on the Rewind, and we will pick it next week. So just leave us a little note, and you'll be in the running to win that set.
Sweet.
I just want to say I found it.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, it's right over here.
But don't you have multiples? I know you had multiple at one point.
I have one or two more somewhere, but this was the one I knew that I had pulled out.
Sweet.
I think that's one of Art Journ's best recent covers. Like, it's really sharp.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about if you're following Cover Price on Instagram, they highlight books that have been like shooting up like crazy, and that was one of them. Because I know when it first dropped, it had a pretty respectable price, but I think it dropped down to basically ratio.
Yeah,
right,
when I picked mine up, when I picked these up, these were below ratio.
So these are the 1 in 25. So the 1 in
Correct.
100s were the virgins.
Yeah, this is the second.
The original
print.
cover was without the black trade dress, was open order, and I think the trick on this one is that nobody seemed to want to reach to buy to get the 1 in 25 because it was really plentiful to get that cover, but that version of it that Josh just showed appears to be fairly limited. We'll see. You never know how many of these things are really get out there, but yeah, after the 1 in 100, which people went crazy for, when the 1 in 25 second print came out, it was under ordered. And I love hearing the Hut 10 where Stein and McClay go off in the 1 in 25 second prints. People hate them. And that's the exact kind of shit I run right towards. Anytime people are fed up or pissed off about something that one of the publishers are doing, there's opportunity there. It's just like ratios early on. It's like the qualifiers at some point. Like when everybody's kind of annoyed and they don't want to play the game, early on, there's going to be, some books that probably fall through the cracks that are pretty tough to get. So
Nice.
I've been sniffing around a lot of 1 in 25 second prints.
And the only reason why we're delaying to our disclaimer is because we're buying all the books right now on the list. So you can't buy them on eBay. So yeah.
All right, let's get into the show. Listen, for anybody who hasn't seen the show, and we have a bunch of loyal viewers, we're not specking here. We're just talking about some cool comics that may not be on your radar. These aren't going to make you rich. These are books that you should probably try to find hunting rather than paying asking price on eBay. And just having fun with comic books. So why don't we get right into it? All right. So, I am of the firm believer people do not hate homages. They hate lazy homages and they hate overdone homages. But when they're done well, people go crazy for them. So this is obviously from Batman #1, Darkwing. This is Darkwing Duck #7 from 2010. This is a cover B. This is a very tough book to get hands on. People, ask a fairly good price for this. Probably goes for the 50-60 range comfortably, if not more. Only 34 copies on the census, 19 and 9.8. We saw 9.8 go earlier this year for about $138. But just a well done homage, if you ask me.
What year were these done?
2010, I'm pretty sure, Josh.
2010.
So this is not the recent run of Darkwing.
Yeah.
Well,
It makes sense. I was just curious because I would love these and I've never owned them, but I was out of comic books at that time.
The only one I own is the Killing Joke one. I mean, so for those that don't know, this Darkwing run has a bunch of homages to classic DC covers or whatever else covers. I mean, but at the same time, that wasn't the the peak we are at or the level we're at with homage covers too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's gotten nuts, but I think people's frustration with them is that when they're just mailing them in, right? They're not well thought out. They're just how many ASM 300 homages can you tolerate, right? When you're bringing nothing to it, right? Or how many Spider-Man #1 homages can you take if you're just doing it for a money grab rather than putting something into it, some creativity, some thought. And when people see an homage that hits, they love it. Right? They regularly love it, and I think it's that people have gotten so lazy with it because it was such an easy grab for so long that the collectors have just kind of grown exhausted with most of them.
Hood, do you have any of these?
Man, I've got some Darkwing Ducks, and they're buried in my long boxes. Man, I don't know. But this book I don't have. I know I don't have it.
Yeah, because Ronnie was assuming that you had this.
No, I don't have this one, man. I've got some other Darkwing Ducks, but not this Batman one, not the homage.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it going.
I have that.
You have this. This is a really tough one. I don't even think there are any of these on eBay. So this was Punisher 16 from the 2000. This is 2011, maybe. This was the final issue in the run. They're obviously constantly relaunching it, but this was the final issue. There were a number of these Iron Man. I don't even know what you want to call them. Just like retro.
Iron Man by design.
Yeah, that's right. So this was Dave Taylor. This was a 1 in 15. And this thing's nowhere, man. There's 5 on the census, 2 and 9.8. I don't think there are any on eBay. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But just kind of a badass. And there's that 57 Chevy we were talking about at the start of the show. No, that's a joke, but
yeah, I keep on saying I'm going to send mine out to get graded, and yeah, I mean, now's a better time than ever. I mean, it's a ghost, and I knew it was a ghost when I found it. I found this shit probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
And then you could be 3 out of 6.
Yeah. It looks pretty clean. It's 9.4 to 9.8, possibly. It's in that range. It's a 9.7.
It's a 9.7. You're gonna make your own stickers to put your own grades onto your books.
9.7.
So,
9.5. It's between a 9.5 and a 9.7.
Hey, Paul, there are 2 copies. What are they going for? Just out of curiosity, what are people asking for these things?
I've never seen this book.
You've never seen it, man? I know
Nope.
I have it around here somewhere.
Never ever.
A number of these Iron Man by Design books are pretty cool. I think this might be the hardest one to get, but anyways.
How often are you looking through Punisher books though, too?
That's true. Most of the time they put them with the Iron Man, so.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these things end up who the hell knows, right? Because
I had picked up a stack of them, and it had the Moon Knight. It had
wow.
The Moon Knight. This one. I think the Venom falls in this run, right? Right, Ben? That Venom one.
Yeah. The Daredevil one is cool for sure.
Yeah.
X-Force is. I mean, there's a number of cool ones in this one. The Moon Knight goes for a nice price. The Moon Knight goes for a good price. But I see that one a lot more than I see this one.
Yeah.
And it looks like Lord Brooklyn is going to start the battle with Vaughn with the chat. So chat versus Vaughn. So let's go.
Right,
I think Vaughn already has one. So
does Vaughn have this one?
Yeah,
yeah,
because I don't think he had the he didn't have the Darkwing.
All right.
Let's see if the chat can score one early. I have this one.
This is a fun one. This is Astonishing Ant-Man #4 by Phil Noto. Just a funny cover from him. A book that you can find. It's out there. It doesn't really command a lot, but not super easy. I don't see this one dating really ever, to be honest with you. 4 copies on the census, 1 in 9.8, but it's not a book people are really going to be grading anyway. But yeah, just a fun Phil Noto book from a fun run. This Ant-Man run was pretty fun. Noto did a number of I don't know if this actually falls under those sort of those retro photo kind of covers he was doing. I don't think that's really part of it, but it has that vibe a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
But this came out around that time period too, anyways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ant-Man's drawn like that retro style that he did, but I don't know. I think those retro ones were all in black and white, right? Most of them, or just
a lot of them were. Not all of them though. There's that Avengers one that's in color. The Fantastic Four was in color. The X-Men was in color.
Yeah, the uncanny, where she's on the moped, or they're on that.
Oh no, that's a different one. Yeah, no, I was thinking the one. It was like Time Magazine or something they did.
Mm-hmm.
There's some
and there's that Captain America one, Old Man Cap or whatever.
Yeah, raised with the forehead there.
Isn't there a Deadpool photobomb one?
Yeah, that's a good one. Is that part of that or not? But yeah, that's.
I think that's part of that instead of the other Deadpool photobomb set.
Okay. Yeah. Just a fun book to keep an eye out for when you're digging. All right, let's keep the show rolling. So this was Carter's. Carter had a bunch of books tonight. I took them all off. Forgot to take this one off, but I don't think he'll mind. I don't think he'll mind too much. We've talked about these Prelude books quite a bit on the show. This is
that Perel also. Perel?
What's that?
Is that Perel?
This is a photo. So
it's a photo.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's Chris Evans in the flesh.
Okay.
So yeah, these books are always worth grabbing, in my opinion, when you find them for cheap, because they were super short ordered, and I don't think any of the sellers gave a shit about them, to be honest with you, because they're always beat to hell in unbagged in dollar bins. But all of these, like this entire run from the MCU, I think are worth grabbing. I think just as time wears on and people appreciate really how masterful the MCU was in those first 3 phases, this kind of stuff is going to become more and more in demand. And this one featuring Chris Evans front and center is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Lucy? Yeah, I don't think I've ever
seen. What I found
seen.
interesting about this one book, though, is that there were 21 copies on the census. They were all signature series, every one.
Wow.
Oh wow!
By Chris Evans.
I couldn't tell who it was signed by. You can just tell,
Yeah,
I would assume
You can get
so.
Tommy Lee Jones to sign it, dude. Look at that.
Sebastian Stan, he's right there. So
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably guess like with which actors are on there, and which ones have done signings. Like,
Well,
Yeah,
you
I'm
got
curious to
Haley
know since
Atwell.
they're all SS.
yeah,
There's Haley
Yeah,
Atwell.
I don't know. I don't know how you'd be able to pull that up, but yeah, they were
probably
just
looking at Soul Data and then like Soul
Yeah.
Pictures. Like, I think would be the only way, unless you happen to know the people with the serial numbers, because that's the only real way to look at the greater sense, right?
Yeah.
Because the census doesn't publish the individual serialized numbers, so it's not like you can see like, oh, it's signed by this. Da, da, da. That'd be interesting to look up.
I mean, also they're only 6 and 9.8, which just goes to show you how easily these books get beat up.
Yeah,
the black on here, if these aren't taken care of, it just gets nicked to hell. So,
and this is that Marvel color rub era too, isn't
big
it?
time, big time.
Trying to see if I can find this book.
You can find them. You can find them. I mean, all the Captain America ones are pretty cool. Not all of them are photos for these different issues, but some people will ask a nice price for these. You know, other times you can find them in sets and things for cover or less. But people are kind of waking up to these, I think, a little bit.
Well, especially with all the celebrities doing signings nowadays.
Yeah, for sure.
It kind of makes sense. It's like, why would I get a cover that's close to looking like the actor or whoever when I can just get a picture of them?
All right. So I actually
I have that. That was mine from a long time ago, Ben.
Did you put this on the show?
I had sent it to you last year, bro.
Oh, I'm backlogged. If I don't put something on, it just means like I got swamped at work and I like just forgot to copy it and paste it in. Like I don't really. If you send me something, I put it on. No,
this is a super ghost right here, man.
This is expensive, yeah, man. I mean, look at the asking prices for this book in 9.8. Right now, it's over $1,000 on some of these. This is by Tadesco. We all love Tadesco. I think one of the modern masters for sure. This was a Wizard World Austin exclusive. 9.8. You know, it's been a while. It sold for $450 back in 2021. 68 copies on the census, 51 in 9.8, and interestingly enough, 49 of these are signature series. So I'm curious who signed these, whether it's Tadesco or somebody else. But a tougher book. And I stole the inspiration for this was Carter had a haul video, and this was on there, and I think it sparked my memory, Joe, that you had sent it to me because I was like, oh damn, we meant to talk about this one. So, anyways. Stole it from Carter's haul video. If you're not watching Mercenaut's YouTube channel, you're missing out. He's got some amazing haul videos.
Yeah, I scooped this out of the dollar bin and I was like, "Oh, Cap!" And I said it. I saw Tadesco, and I'm like, "Okay," because you can identify with the 2 T's and the circle or whatever. So I put it, and then I get home and I go. I'm looking it up and I couldn't find it. And then I noticed the Austin Wizard World. I go, holy shit, this is a ghost, dude. Like,
yeah, tough book. I mean, asking a lot. Vaughn is cold tonight, man. I don't remember Vaughn ever actually going 1 for 5.
Yeah,
batting 200.
And then right now, the panel collectively is at I think what 3 out of 5.
Tonight could be the night. Although we got a long way to go, and there's some books on here that
I definitely know there's. I think like I looked through the list, I was like, oh yeah, my list is done here.
Yeah, there's some fun books, but all right, here's a cool one. So Steve Mannion is kind of blowing up a little bit. He did this cover from Ninja and Robots number 5. It was limited to 700. They do. All of these Ninja and Robot books, they probably like 3 or 4 covers for each number, and there's some super short printed ones. 700 is not that low printed, but I really enjoy his art, and I thought this was fun.
That's cool.
Found one.
I dig it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, he's quite a talent, and I think someone people will be talking about years down the road, particularly if he starts to get some mainstream work.
I feel like Tony would be the one that owns this on the panel.
Would not be surprised. Would not be surprised.
Yeah, or just from seeing like what he's collected over the years or what he's shown to us. I feel like this is something up his alley.
Yeah, this is out there. You can grab it, but 700, a book that's kind of just released out into the world, and not just being sold through a store. Like this thing will eventually be gone.
Yeah.
All right. This is just sort of a book that is just kind of is cool. This is It Girl by the legendary Mike Allred. This was a one shot on the character. If you know Allred, he has a lot of characters with like similar vibes, right? At Marvel, he had You Go Girl and Dead Girl, so he just sort of plays on the same sorts of themes and things. But this was a character was in the Atomics issue number 3 was her first appearance, I believe, and there's only 2 of these on the census, which doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot. But I just like the vibe of this, and I like this character. Not everybody likes Allred, but the older I get, the more and more his stuff appeals to me. And we're going to talk a little bit about him for the next couple of books. So if it's not your thing, you can go grab a beer.
Allred's variants are some of them are really tough to find, man. Like they're
listen, I don't think this book was heavily ordered at the time, like 2002.
No, but I was like
super indie
in general. Like,
do y'all remember when Pamela Anderson had the had her own cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
This kind of reminds me of that.
I'll have to look that up. I don't remember that,
because I think it was around that same time period too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't
if you go to the
remember
next
when
slide,
that came out.
This was her first appearance in the Atomics. This was a fun series by Allred as well, and this was AAA Pop Comics. Just super obscure, quirky shit.
That's a great cover, man.
Yeah, it's fun. Nobody was grading these, obviously, but her power was, it was kind of like Rogue, I guess. If she touched someone, she could absorb their powers or qualities. So she became it. But just I don't know. I just a fun vibe. And when he took over X-Force, all of the, he kind of has the same, the same kind of, themes and stories for a lot of his stuff, but it's fun and entertaining. If none of you guys have read it.
What year is this from?
This was before the other, so this was like 2000, 2001. And then I think I have one more on here, maybe. I tried not to overdo it. So this is a Darwin Cook cover from her solo series. So the book I said before was a one-shot. Then they started a solo series. This was by Darwin Cook. I know everybody likes Darwin. This is a cover B. And I think probably a somewhat underappreciated book from Cook. Sometimes these cover Bs are fairly underordered. It certainly splits the print run, and one day they're gone. You can't find them. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
I like the cover. I like Darwin Cook.
Yeah, he's fun. He was good.
Dang, chat starting to rally back up.
2000. Sheesh.
Feels like a lifetime ago at this point. So
yeah, I was in 8th grade.
Man, I feel old, bro.
These are good reads, though. Worth going back to revisit these. Staying on the similar theme, this is a very tough book to find. This is Madman number 14. This is a Cook Allred cover. I believe they worked on it together, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a tough one to get hands on. People who know about it, they ask probably 25 to 35, I would say, for this book. And it's a really cool wraparound cover. If you go to the next slide, Aaron, I put the whole thing on there. And there's You Go Girl as a shark or something underneath there. But It Girl. But yeah, this is the full wraparound. And definitely one to keep an eye out when you're digging, because like I said, this thing commands a nice little price if you can find it. So those who know, but it's also the kind of book that can just be sitting back there for cover or less. So. But
I wonder if it kind of looks like someone did the top half and someone did the bottom half.
Yeah, I think that's what happened on this one.
Yeah.
Allred did the bottom half maybe, and then Cook did the top.
All right, this is gonna sound dumb, but that character with the lightning bolt with the dot, isn't that there was a cartoon with that guy, was there not?
I mean, that's Madman. But yeah. Did they ever have a cartoon for the?
It might not have been him, but someone copied. What was that cartoon? Oh man, now I gotta look this up.
Are you thinking of Freakazoid?
Yeah, didn't he look like that?
He had the weird haircut with the lightning bolt, but then did he have an exclamation point on his shirt?
Oh no, he didn't. Nope.
Okay.
That's great. Aaron already knows the answer before he asks it. You know what I mean?
Well,
you're just brain, bro. You're the mad scientist, man.
Well, I think what it is like in the animation, whenever he told a joke or did a zing or whatever, they put like exclamation points all over the screen. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, geez, I can't even remember back to what that show was even like. The character, for some reason, that looked really familiar.
Or does he have an exclamation point in the end of his title of his name?
His chest has an exclamation point with an F on it.
That shark kind of looks like Jeffrey, man. You know what I mean?
There we go. There was an exclamation point on his chest.
Is that the first appearance of Jeff?
Yeah, man. He was hanging out with It Girl before.
Yeah, man, before Gwenpool.
So pre-land shark, huh?
Yeah.
There is another Darwin.
It's just Jeff the shark, Yeah.
There's a cover B for this. This Madman series doesn't have a ton of them that I recall. This is the second Madman series, but there is a Darwin Cook cover B just for this. It's like a close up of Madman, if I remember correctly. But if you're out there digging, you see that one worth grabbing as well.
It's interesting that they made her a shark, instead of a mermaid, or
Yeah, her power is she can absorb the qualities of whatever she touches. So she must have grabbed the shark while she was down there,
holding the fin to get away.
All right, so I found this one digging this weekend. I was really surprised to find it. This is Tony Daniel. This is the 10th Evil's Child #1. There are two versions of this one. There's one where she's less concerned about her tan lines, and this one where she's more concerned about. Oh, I don't know how to price that. Less concerned about her tan lines. She has the bottom part of her bathing suit on, and this one is the one with none of the bathing suit on. So this one's a little bit tougher to find. Seems to be a bit more in demand. A raw sold this year of this book for $200, and it's a confirmed sale. But it's definitely an outlier. It's the highest price by a comfortable margin, and in there you can find some listed for less than that currently. But 44 on the census, 22 and 9.8. But just kind of a ghost book. And like I said, I was digging at a local show and I found this, and I was like, wow, I never thought I'd find this one digging.
Tony Daniel doesn't get a lot of credit. If you look at that run that he had on the 10th, a lot of the covers are fantastic, right? And if they were covers today, they would be sought out. If it had a different title like Batman or something like that. But Yeah, I've never seen the no tan line one before. That's
Yeah. I mean,
and
this one.
the it doesn't bother me either way with tan line or without. You know what I mean?
You're a non-discriminating guy, Joe.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me one iota.
Tony's buying this one for the articles. It's
I don't think there's any articles in this one. I don't know. All right, this thing's the ghost. Air Fighters #2 by Fernando. How do you pronounce that? Panishi. This is a cover C. This has been from Moonstone Comics. This thing is nowhere to be found, and when it pops its head up, it goes for a pretty penny. God,
it's just unbelievable. Look at that. Like they probably fired him. Hey, Fernando, come into the office. You're overqualified, bro. Like these other artists want to quit, so we're gonna have to let you go, man.
If you're a ghost hunter and you just like chasing down obscure books, go at it.
I mean, this has got to be at least a cover E, so.
It says C though, right there in C.
That's just badass, man. Like, can you imagine owning the original art to that and what that would look like, framed and just, man.
Yeah,
it's cool as shit, man.
A book I've hunted for, but never had eyes on. To be honest with you, never come across it anywhere. So.
There was one that sold just on September 24th on eBay.
September 24th. What did it go for?
It was the first issue and this issue, and it was listed at $75, but it says they took a best offer. So
wow. Was it a listing where it's was like this one obscured, like behind the first issue, or are they both fairly visible?
No, they had them both side by side on the main.
That's a pretty good steal. I think there may be a listing for this out there for over $100, like $150 or something like a big price tag. Whenever I seem to see it listed, that's where it's usually being going for. But
yeah, I see it. There's one listed right now for $148 OBO.
148, yeah, it's a big.
Yeah.
I'm seeing if I can find the sold. It sold for 120 on eBay. Issues 2A and 2C.
Oh, okay.
And then there's one, and then the one that you found, Josh, sold for 60.
Well, that was a steal. Yeah. The
Yeah,
other covers for these aren't nearly as striking, so I can't imagine people paying up for the other ones. But this one is a ghost.
Eye catching.
One way to put it. I think it's the sunset that really is what catches the eye.
That's the first thing I noticed was the sunset.
There's a sunset.
Oh man! Wow.
All right, so we've talked about these back issue magazines a lot on the show, and there's just a lot of them that are really cool. So this is obviously a beautiful Adam Hughes featuring Mary Jane, who everybody loves, obviously. I was shocked that there were only 2 of these on the census. Just strikes me as a book that people would be getting graded more, but I guess these back issues are still kind of flying under the radar. But asking price on these on eBay, I think, are sort of in the 70 plus range or more, or even more. But one I've been looking for a while and haven't found.
That rendition of Mary Jane is like breathtaking, dude. Like, Jesus Christ, that's got to be one of his best Mary Janes, dude. Like, I know he did the Mary Jane and Black Hat, or collab, or what do you call it, recently. When did this one come out? This issue 23. What year?
These things are like in like mid 2000s, mid to late 2000s, like 6-7 time frame, something like that.
Yeah, because the way he drew her face, like now, it's like totally that I prefer that rendition of Mary Jane.
This may be his best take on the character, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so good. It's so good. And the hair, the red black. I mean, it's just it's badass.
I try and look for these all the time because there's a bunch of Bruce Timm ones that I'd really love to own.
Yeah, we've covered the Timms. I think we covered a Cho. We've talked about a bunch of these on the show, but yeah, this is a good one.
I don't think I've ever ran into back issue before in my area.
I own a couple, but they don't have any like superstar artists on there. Got one where it talks about some books from the 70s. It's just crap. But
my LCS has a box of them, but all the big ones are gone naturally.
Yeah, I mean, there's only like one shop in my area that I know that has like multiple back issues of Wizard and stuff like that. So I would probably have to check out that store.
There's 3 or 4 on eBay right now. They're going for anywhere from $80 to $164
for this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean 80 to 100. Wow. Yeah. Justin's saying that people love to reprint everything under the sun. We should take her out. Yeah, you're right. I think if they were just to put, lift this image and just put it on, even like a white background or something, it would probably sell like crazy. Just classy and just sharp. So I agree. I mean, I assume back issue has the right. I don't even know if they're still in business. I mean,
just have Adam Hughes do like a commission of this or something like that, or or what is it? He could just update the character and make it into a jackpot now, right?
No, but like, I mean, you got to know, like, you see this out in the wild, and if you're just barely starting to collect books and you see an image like this, like, you got to know to pick this up. Like, this shit just, like, Aaron, right? It looks expensive, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean, but that also develops as you dig more and more bins that you wouldn't normally look through and stuff like that. So if you don't know what you're looking for, you kind of have like signs of things.
I mean, just starting out in the hobby, it's probably too overwhelming. Like, there's just so much shit out there. Like, what you focus on, what's interesting. So,
and these are magazine size, right?
These are full magazines.
Yeah. So, I mean, how many people go to their LCS and dig through I mean, I know people do, but a new collector, digging in magazine back bins.
Let's say this wasn't a magazine; it was just a comic. If you saw an image like this, you're not picking that up. Like, get out of the hobby, bro.
I mean, that would easily be like one of those like top 25 comics that we would always talk about. You know what I mean?
All right, well, we're gonna just do a bootleg version of it then. So
a foil,
art book, right? Blank pages book. Just make the cover.
All right, so this is Betty Page #1 from 2017. This book is a freaking ghost. Jim Ballant did this cover, which, in classic Jim Ballant subtlety. This was a Jetpack Comics exclusive. This thing sold out, I believe, back in the day very quickly. There are 3 versions. There's the trade dress that we're looking at. There's a color version, and then there's a sketch. The sketch isn't particularly good in my opinion. It just missing something on the colors, but given how people sort of love the space theme, the space girl theme, this book is definitely in demand. A 9/8 sold back in the COVID days, October 2020, for $120, which wasn't a bad deal really. But there's only 5 copies on the census, 4 and 9.8. I will say one last thing about these books. people love to hate on store exclusives, and I get it, but like most comics, most of them will never be worth anything. But given the print runs on some exclusives, there are going to be one day just some absolutely ridiculously sought after books that you can't get hands on because they had 250 print runs or 500 print runs. I'm not necessarily talking about the Marvel, but even some of their 1,000 print runs, right? If the stores are being honest about them, there are going to be just some books that are really hard to get one day. Which is not to say go buy them all, because most of them are going to be worthless, like every other comic book. But I think this just sort of plays to that a little bit, that there are books out there that people want, they get put into collections, and then you can't find the damn things.
So rare, it's worthless.
Is Jetpack Comics still around?
Yeah, I'm on their website right now because I know
Oh,
sometimes.
nice.
Yeah, because I know sometimes like, you can find stuff that's like that you thought was sold out.
Yeah.
So they had this book listed on their website, but it's sold out, and they only had signed copies, but they were only selling them for $20.
Wow. Yeah, I hadn't heard Jetpack Comics name in a while. I was curious.
Yeah, I haven't bought anything from them in a while, but
Last stuff I bought from them was TMNT 1 from IDW. That was
way back.
Yeah.
I bought a really cool, I'm trying to think what the hell it was. I got a really cool exclusive from them years and years ago. I want to say it was a Middleton book or something. I can't remember. But
I want to say I bought a Joker book like within the last 4 or 5 years. All right, before we get in trouble,
before we get kicked off.
Yeah, before we get YouTube censored.
Here's another store exclusive that has all but disappeared from the world. This is Betty and Veronica #1 by Andrew Pepoy. This is a New England Comics exclusive. New England Comics is a Boston-based comic book store, famous for creating the Tick. They don't do a lot of this kind of stuff, but this one was really well done. We've talked about Pepoy on the show before, and how his Archie covers are probably wildly underappreciated, and they're all really quite cool. This one is a lot of fun, but this thing's all but disappeared. I believe when this thing came out, it was limited to 500, if I'm not mistaken. But only 5 in the census for 9.8, but none to be found that I'm aware of. Anybody who has one they want to sell, please let me know.
Yeah, I like Pepoy.
How do you pronounce his name?
I don't know. Pepoy?
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 I used to think it was Pepoy, but Pepoy.
Pepoy? Yeah, because he did a couple of Afterlife with Archie covers. So that was when I first found out about him.
Did not know. I mean, I didn't know anyone else besides Adam Hughes did covers for After Archie. So
they have one for $49 on eBay right now.
Buy it. No, I'm just kidding.
And it's gone.
$50 on eBay right now. Buy it now.
I think I'm just too cheap to pay $50. It's not, honestly, that's probably not a bad deal, but
or best offer.
That's one of those you watch it. That's one of those you watch it and see what they offer you, and then you counter offer for something lower.
Well, now everybody's going to go and hit him up, dude. You know what I mean?
Well, then that's when 20 people are watching it, and then he sends out offers to everyone.
Yeah.
And so the first person willing to pay that price snags it.
I mean, in my opinion, I'd pay 20, but I wouldn't pay 40. Not yet. Like the more
meet me in the middle at 30.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations, right?
Yeah.
It's
but it's done very well. Like I like that kind of feel of the 50s and space kind of
the old trade dress up there is cool.
It's like a pulp kind of feel to it.
The spooky clouds in the back.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. All of all of his Archie covers are pretty damn cool. Like, I don't think he's really screwed any up. If I was doing exclusives, people have gone to Dan Parent probably to the point of exhaustion. As much as I love him, I think he's a legend. I think Pepoy would be the one to lean on if you want to do some Archie's exclusives.
What year was this? I'm assuming this was before Afterlife with Archie.
This is 2017.
Oh, so after. Okay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is a Zombie Tramp NYCC exclusive. Just an absolute ghost within the Zombie Tramp family. She has lots of books, a lot of really difficult ones to find. But this one has been elusive, I think, ever since it came out at NYCC. I think this was also in that 2017 time frame. Yeah, NYCC has historically had a lot of very tough Zombie Tramp books, and this one is one of the more sought after.
I didn't realize how big the fan base for Zombie Tramp was.
Huge. You wouldn't believe it, but I mean, there's a big following for Zombie Tramp, and there's so many limited variants and exclusives. So many artists have worked on the series, and it's funny. I mean, it's probably not what you'd think by just looking at sort of the sensational covers, but Zombie Tramp does have a big following. And this one is just I always look for them. I mean, it's hard enough to find any Zombie Tramp books in the wild, to be honest with you. But yeah, I've never.
I won one from a sign pack, and it has a remark on it from one of the artists.
Oh,
I don't know which one, but yeah, and I have no idea what the actual value is. So
there was an NYCC exclusive for when the second Zombie Tramp was introduced. Angela Lynch, I believe is what her name was. And they were limited to 100 foils, and I was able to track down one of those in Canada many years ago. But that's also right up there with one of the more difficult ones to find. But people hang on to these. I mean, if you want to look at expensive books, look at the very Zombie Tramp #1, like the original mini. Like, that book is nowhere to be found, and it goes for huge money. But it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's not as over the top as maybe some of these covers merely make you think. All right, this was from our friend Cueva Comics, Ryan. This book is a freaking super ghost. The Secret Life of Crows #2 by J. Scott Campbell. There's 3 covers. Joe, if you find any whiff of this, I will be blown away. So anyways, thank you, Ryan, for this one. There's the
thanks
trade
a lot,
dress.
Ryan.
The trade dress that we're looking at right now. There's a virgin version of it, and then there's a sketch version. All of them are complete ghosts. But I've looked for this book for a very long time without finding one. There are 3 copies of the trade dress on the census, 1 in 9.8. Like I said, they're all genuine ghosts.
Man, I got the hiccups, dude.
Joe, you don't have this one, Joe. I figured if anybody on the show might have it, maybe it was you.
No, I'm looking for it right now.
Well, make sure to take a screenshot so you can find it for sure. You changed
I just want to break Campbell's fingers so he can quit drawing so I can catch up, bro.
Are you gonna buy his New York City Comic Con exclusive?
I don't know.
What you should do? You should be looking for a San Diego Comic Con exclusive if you didn't buy it, because I'm sure it's more
cheaper,
or it's probably back at the retail price or below.
Yeah, he So he did like he sold 3 covers of that theme on his store. And then the SDCC isn't even the rarest one. And I don't even think it's the best one. Like there was a few other it's basically like Black Cat, Gwen, and Mary Jane, like in different eras of like pop music. And
the K-pop-ish cover?
Yeah, there was a couple of them. But the SDCC one, weren't they just like headshots of all 3 characters or something like that?
Mm-hmm. They had the little chibi characters on it too.
Yeah,
it was like a K-pop cover. I liked that cover.
I didn't mind it, but I just thought some of the ones that he had released like a few weeks before on his store that sold out super quickly. There were some cool ones there.
It's all right. He'll have a warehouse find in a couple months anyways.
That's the problem. Must have giant warehouses because he keeps finding all sorts of shit in there. So,
Joe, just make sure you ask for some of the stickers. So,
hey, what is that one where you had to buy those comic books and send in like the
Essentia?
Yes. Yeah. And when is that supposed to hit?
We were just talking about it backstage.
So the deadline to turn in coupons was September 30th. So hopefully you turned in your coupons if you're trying to get one of those J. Scott Campbells. I submitted 2 myself. I'm not going to say how many everyone else on the panel submitted. So, okay, or it's up to you to disclose. So, and then Ben, how many did you submit?
I think I did 4 or 5. I can't remember now if it was 4 or 5.
Yeah, like I told Aaron, it's like I can't handle the pressure of that. I go and then just open up 4 Frank Millers. I think I would quit comic book collecting, man. You know,
just destroy your house, son of a
dude. I would say the shit's over, bro. I'd deactivate every account and just I quit.
But your plan was to just pick one up when people started getting them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick one up in a 9.8 and be done with it.
They'll be out there. So many. I feel like a lot of people didn't do it, but the people who did, there are people who did multiples. So with the intention of offloading them, so they'll be out there. They'll be. Out there.
Campbell was probably saying it's between me and Frank Miller. That's a pretty. You might as well just. It's either me or you get nothing. You know.
Yeah, it hurts for me to kill Frank Miller. I'm a Daredevil run was like probably what made me love comic books. So he was a legend, but
yeah, I'm definitely a fan of Miller, but at the same time, what he's currently putting out right now, I'm not a fan of.
You gotta realize when it's just time to quit, even if it's something that you really like. I mean, he could draw, just don't
just do like the Turner thing, like have someone else finish it, like do that like sketches, and then let some young.
I mean, he's also a brilliant writer, right? I mean, he can still play in the game just writing. So
I mean, he has his own.
Cancer?
He has his own publishing thing right now. Anyways, I can't remember if he did or did not have cancer.
He had something, Josh. I don't know if it was.
He was sick. He was really sick.
Yeah.
But then he recovered and released Dark Knight 3. Wasn't the point of that, right?
Say that to Liefeld.
I can't deal. Ryan, you're gonna kill me, man. So.
I like Liefeld.
I don't know.
He's like entertaining. It's like that train disaster you can't like look away
I
from.
like the idea of prodigy 19-year-old 20-year-old Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, I
like that Rob Liefeld.
His current art does not do
anything
for me. I can look at his stuff from the 90s and appreciate it for what it was, what he was doing at the time, but what he's putting out now, it's like he's tried to step it up and it just didn't work. I don't know, just for me, but
it's so many years of doing the same thing and then trying to step out of that bubble. You still do the basis of what you were doing to get
I mean, he's just the epitome of the 90s, I guess. But
he never,
I don't mind his personality. I don't mind that, but
I don't think he ever really evolved. I mean, I feel like if you put all of his work from beginning till now up against like, I don't know, any other artist, like you can see some kind of like evolution. And I feel
Oh,
like
so you're saying you
I feel like he still just draws like it's 1994 or 5 or whatever, and like
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, but with whatever technology is out now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's the same style. He never tried to like. I mean, he tried
Wait,
to switch it up here and there on certain things, but
well, versus like someone like Jim Lee, you can see the evolution of
yeah,
where he started to where he is now.
Yeah,
But
much
yeah.
like J. Scott Campbell. Go look at his stuff from like
Mhm.
1995. It almost looks like Mad Magazine type of caricatures of almost making fun of like the real characters, but doing little caricatures. And then that developed, and he cleaned it up and got tighter, and the rest is history. But like Campbell's got a huge library where it's just like you can go through the years and just see how he's evolving. Like with Adam Hughes has always been badass. I mean, it's just like some of his older stuff looks better than his newer stuff, but
well, I'd say a lot
like
of his older stuff is he had a point there where he was
yeah,
he was touched by the hand of God, man. Like,
yeah, yeah. I
But-
agree.
Oh, that was our last book. And we finally updated our graphics. So make sure you're turning in tomorrow for Nearing Nirvana. I believe throughout the entire month of October, Lucy is going to be doing the Witching Hour. Josh, are you going to be regularly on that show, or
I don't know if I'm going to be on it tomorrow, but I was on it last week and it was a blast. So you should definitely tune into that if you're into like spooky stories and ghost stuff.
You know, I'm looking at this picture. I want to give that look one day where I've got a book and everybody in the panel is like, "Oh shit!" and I'm just
right?
like a sort of wizard kind of look, like.
Yeah. And then Saturday is for Saturday morning toy box, so make sure you tuned in for that. Monday is cover lovers. Tuesday is comic book women, the show that started it all. And Wednesday is movies and shows. So don't miss that with Team Nerd Herd. And then you're back here with us on Thursdays for Long Story Short. And thank you again to our sponsors. So make sure you head over to Cover Price. Use the code Nirvana14 for a 30-day unlimited membership for only 99 cents. If you're attending New York City Comic Con, make sure to stop by their booth. I don't know what their booth number is going to be, but I know Matt is for sure attending. And then you can also see our other sponsors over at Bird City Comics. Have y'all seen what they are dropping for New York City?
Yeah, the foil Zatanna. Yeah, that's my favorite of the Zatanna Hughes covers that they did.
And then let me go ahead and share my screen real quick to their website.
So last
Or
year
to
at
Instagram.
New York Comic Con, you know that guy that walks the streets of Manhattan in New York or whatever, and it's a YouTube thing where he's just walking through the city. Well, he was walking to New York Comic Con. He went into the con, and so I text him. I go, "Hey, say hi to Aunt and Laura. They're at Bird City." And he turned the wrong way. He was almost there at the table, and he turned. I go, "Fuck!" It would have been so cool, dude. But anyway.
Oh, I guess they're doing
you
a
had to be
Transformers.
there.
You had to be there.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even see that.
Well, they're
one.
also doing their Spider Boy has a bubblegum freaking cover on it. This thing's gonna bankrupt me. All of these stupid
Yeah,
bubblegum
saw
covers.
that. That is
Oh,
actually
so-
really good, man.
Yeah, so this launches tomorrow. Oh, so this is if Spider-Punk was in the correct proportions, right? So,
Oh,
well, that's
I
pretty
like
cool.
That one, yeah.
with the bubble gum and the color splash on that.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's popping. Or I guess it's a bubble, but
Damn, fucking New York, bro.
no, this drops tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow? What? In the morning or afternoon, probably.
7
They
p.m.
usually do
Eastern.
10 p.m.
evening,
Okay.
yeah.
But make
All
sure you are signed up for the text line so you don't miss all these great exclusive drops, like this beautiful bubblegum cover. Because us on the panel are a fan of the bubblegum.
I'm
The
gonna have to get
bubblegum's
that
gonna freaking put me in debt. But
Yeah.
also remember, if you want to win this set of Gwenpool covers by Mad Love, this is Philippe Barbosa. Just leave a comment on the video on the rewind, and we'll be entered. We'll draw it next week. Get both of these books.
All right, and then any other shows this weekend that you all are going to be on?
Not that I'm aware of, but if anybody else is.
Me and Aaron, the hot 10.
We'll be on the Hot 10, and then Josh and I will be on How May We Help You on the Mighty Mel V channel. So.
Oh, I'm not tuning into that. Fuck it.
I am dropping nothing but slabs the entire show.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
I have like 10 boxes of slabs.
Mhm.
So like
I think we all got a shitload of slabs, bro.
like I have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slabs sitting right next to me that aren't even in any. Like I have a shelf right next to my desk here. It's like built into the house, and then I just have some slabs sitting there. Like,
We're sick, bro. We're hoarders, man. We need help.
Yeah.
No.
This is how we help. These podcasts help us.
So I mean, you would think this is like group therapy sessions, but this is
Yeah,
more
it
of
is.
like we just all enable each other to buy more. That's all it really is.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. It's the
So
opposite of therapy.
Right, the
Yeah, it's
opposite effect.
Yeah,
man.
this is the opposite of CA. So
It's just where, yeah.
This is like, hey, I'm going down this rabbit hole. Are you coming with me?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's
No,
bad.
how about now? What about now?
How about this book?
that show last night, Ben, on Beyond Wednesday with Brian, Big Late found this seller that was selling nothing but fucking 3-5 books,
like modern books,
modern books.
like modern
And
3-5s.
I go, I think we've this is some untapped untapped thing here, like one of one on the census, like. And Aaron goes, there's only one grade higher than that one, and it's an 8.5.
No, the next grade up.
The next grade up, it's an 8.5.
Yeah.
It was that low.
Like that has to be intentional, then, right?
Oh
At a 3-5.
yeah.
So you got to be good at fucking up a book to consistently get 3 5s. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know how you do that. Like, I mean, destroy it just enough so it.
He had a cigarette burn like on every
Yeah.
single cover, like, or it looks like he had like some major rib. But I mean, there's like card set that famously someone put together an entire card set of SGC ones of the 2019-2020 Prism basketball set. Just the base.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Like to me, that's such a waste of money just to like grade all that. Like,
But you know what? There'll be somebody to buy it. You know what I mean? That
I mean,
appreciate it.
It's a unique set to own, yes, but at the same time, like, what a waste of money.
Yeah,
that's just flexing. Like, I got money to burn. But yeah. Anyways, make sure you're buying all these books on eBay. So thank you again. Leave a comment afterwards, and we will draw a winner for next time. And we'll catch y'all next week. So take it easy.